like you can't find any food or everything. You can find sometimes you're lucky you can find cans of corn.
Oh wow.
But most of the time, all you can find are cans of peas because nobody likes canned peas.
Nobody
So
likes
that's the only
nobody
one
likes
thing.
canned peas.
So anyway, so he finds a blow up girl somewhere,
I
and
hope you all can hear this, by the way.
oh, are we on the?
Oh yeah.
So we're
Because
on-
it's 11:30.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's
So
okay.
we're on the blow up thing. So he finds this blow up girl, and then he takes her on a date because it's the only person there. Well, anyway, he goes through the whole thing goes through, and he eventually accidentally takes her somewhere, and she gets a nail in her, and she deflates.
Oh,
So that's the name.
hence the
Nail.
name nailed it. That's funny. Well, I want to go ahead and start if that's good with you all. I want to say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. If y'all would be willing to make your phones on the silent position, that would be really awesome. I would appreciate it. I don't know if yours is on silent or not, but that would be great. So I know that a couple people are probably going to come in late, so we'll just kind of like energetically hold the space for them until they come back in their bodies. But this is body, mind, spirit. So good morning. Hello.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just checking in. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know, like hello.
It's all right.
Is it on silent?
Yes.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Jane, I can't put mine on silent.
That's okay.
So if it rings, I'll run out the door.
Just if it rings, just throw the phone out the door. You don't go out the door. You just throw the window out the door. Gosh, duh. Hey, good morning. Charles is joining us in Yahara. Sorry. Good morning. Yahara. Oh, welcome. Awesome. So yeah, I had this idea that I wanted to talk about today, and it's about peace. So I want to talk about and kind of dive into that. I want to talk about peace in the body, peace in the mind, and peace in the spirit. Good morning, Kelly. Wow, it's 4:30 in the morning in New Zealand. I'm guessing that's where you are, or you're just giving us random facts. Either way, I'm excited to know that. Good morning, peace.
You got followers in New Zealand.
Apparently.
And they're up at 4:30 in the morning.
I'm impressed. I know. I was not up at 4:30 in the morning your time, but if you think about it, we're all up at 4:30 in the morning right now in New Zealand. We're up.
Yeah.
So how cool.
If
is
I was
that?
in New Zealand, I'd be sleeping in.
Well, yeah, and we're up at 4:30 in New
Yeah.
Zealand because
Yeah.
it's all now,
Yeah.
right? So, let's just anchor in. Thank you so much. Let's just anchor in with a couple of breaths. So if we can just take a deep breath and just let it go. Take another big breath in and breathe out. And do a couple more of those. Just breathe in really big, really full. Let your body start to become really present, become aware of the weight of your body right now. Become aware of the space around you and how the space around you is what is flowing in through your nose and out through your nose. Become aware of the sounds around you and recognizing them just as sounds around you. No attachments, no need to identify what the sounds are, where they're coming from, what they mean. Just focusing on your present moment, your body, your breath. Breathing in a sense of peace and breathing out a sense of joy. Breathing in peace and exhaling joy. Breathing in peace and sharing joy in the world with every exhale. Every inhale, you breathe in peace for your body, peace for your mind, and peace in your spirit. And every exhale is a breath of joy for all life on earth. coming fully into this present moment. We'll all take a deep breath in together and sigh it out. And now we're here. Now we are here. Thanks for doing that, y'all. I appreciate the
That sound.
thanks. Yeah, I know
Is that a bronze bowl or just a,
it's a Tibetan singing bowl,
singing bowl, that's what they call that.
or a sound bowl, depending on who you ask. But I find that sometimes, do y'all find peace easy to find?
With something like that, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I didn't used to, but since I was introduced to like that kind of breathing meditation and mindfulness, I find it a lot easier than
Yeah.
I used to.
I find peace can sometimes be challenging when there's a lot of stuff going around, like going on around me. It's like if I'm sitting in the middle of a subway and there's like trains going by, people doing the thing, and someone said, "Hey, Jane, I just need you to sit in peace."
Come in, we're having class.
I think that may be a little bit of a challenge, right? Like when there's chaos around us, it may be challenging to find and experience peace,
Sign in.
right? So,
Or sometimes you can focus on bits of the chaos to kind of distract you from the heaps of chaos.
yeah, definitely. So I'm curious. Hi. So I'm curious, what does peace feel like in your body?
What?
What does peace feel like in your body?
Calm.
Feels like calm,
Relax.
relaxed,
Warm,
warm,
cozy.
cozy, like a blanket.
Yes, like a little blue blankie.
Yeah. So it's a cozy feeling of peace, And I find that, because this is body, mind, spirit, right? So I think that we live in a society that what we are fed into our bodies does not naturally bring us peace, right? I mean, if you ever watch the news, which I don't, but I'm assuming that when the news is on, that they're not talking about peaceful things.
Anything.
Yeah, I don't watch the news either.
Yeah. Like
It's disturbing.
it is disturbing,
Peace is disturbing.
No.
No, the news.
the news.
I agree on that.
Yeah.
So I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, that's what Jane was saying. She doesn't watch it either.
I'm curious do you watch the news?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Do you find it creates peace in your body?
No,
Then why do you watch it?
to see what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense though, too.
I feel like a lot of people watch the news to know what's going on in the world. And it's very interesting because they don't show the peace that's going on in the world. So it's not really showing the news of what's actually going on in the world.
One-sided version.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
They're
it's
showing some of what's going on in the world.
Yes.
well,
their
and
version.
and their version is propaganda too. They're getting paid for it.
Right.
And sometimes it's not even a version, though. It's just that they're choosing what they cover. I mean, they choose to cover the things that they think will get people's attention.
Mm-hmm. And we've been, I think, taught to rubberneck in like really weird things. Like if you see a car accident, what do you notice? A ton of traffic. Why? Because everybody's slowing down to look at it.
Yeah, everybody wants to watch a train wreck.
Right. And the thing is that it makes the body sick. It makes the body sick to look at, to be around information that is that disturbing. Like, not to like ignore it, right? But to be able to be in these stressful experiences and still allow our bodies to experience peace. I think that's like a job.
Yeah, I find lately at FedEx, I injured myself. So now they have me sitting in a chair, so I read. But I find sometimes I get bored with reading, so I'll just sit and there's a lot of noise. But if you sit back and you listen to the noise and break the noise apart, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the sounds within the noise separately, it can actually be quite relaxing.
Yeah. I was talking about this yesterday with a friend, how everything is music.
That's exactly where I was going with it.
Yeah. Like everything is music. If we choose to like hear it that way, right?
So it's not one sound if you break it apart, because usually it just sounds like one chaotic.
Yeah. And and I also think that like if we're listening to a song and there's like all of a sudden like a drum hit or whatever, we don't get mad at it. We just go with the flow with it. We're like, oh, that was it was a drum hit or a cymbals or a horn or whatever in a song. But we will let that stuff in reality or like our lives or whatever disturb us and distract us to where we take ourselves out of peace, you know?
We take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually tuned. I guess it just depends on the music you listen to. But when I had a radio with me and I was having a bad day, I mean, I would be tuning in myself. Would be tuning in to K-Love, and just even if I had a bad day, it wasn't affecting me.
Mm.
So that kind of music or whatever kind of music you like listening to can have that effect on you, even if you're having a bad day.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm curious, just with the body, just body only, what do you do that brings you peace for your body?
I listen to meditation
Listen to meditations.
at the base of a chakra.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
Take a nap.
Yeah. That's definitely a way to bring peace is to sleep.
If you can.
Naps are good.
And I listen to music, I have the radio on all day and I listen to joyful music.
Yeah. What about y'all? What do you do? Kelly's saying, like, I love watching the rainfall. Yeah.
Or
I watched-
listening to the
I
radio.
I actually had a recorded video of rain, and I happened to go see it on my phone this morning, and I watched and I listened to this video of rain falling. I don't want rain today, and I was like, this feels good. Yeah, and walking in the rain feels good too. What do you do? What do you do to make more peace in your body?
Well, sometimes I meditate, sometimes I read, and sometimes I watch. I've got a friend I go see where we watch these series programs like on Netflix. And it's nice because because it's a series, you can get drawn into it as much as you want or as little as you want. So you can watch like 2 or 3 episodes, or you can watch all of it if you want to binge watch it, or you can watch one,
Yeah.
and then you can just pick it up and it takes you away to like a separate world.
So you dissociate.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
That's
It's
definitely
not
one way
so
to
much
get peace.
it distracts you from,
Distraction.
yeah.
Yeah.
Distraction is important.
Yeah, I do want to draw awareness that distraction is a form of addiction.
Huh. Didn't think of it that way.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, but we've been fed that it's like normalized. Distraction is so normalized in our culture that we feel like we're supposed to always be like looking at something, doing something, so that we're not just being.
Of course,
Just
I think
making-
that's more if you take it to an obsessive
Totally.
level.
Yeah.
I mean, I think watching something, occasionally to
Yeah.
get away from that. But yeah, no, I'm a compulsive shopper.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Addiction.
And sometimes coming here is a distraction from me from doing something else, and I get that that's unhealthy.
Gotcha.
sometimes, Even though this is a healthy place.
Right? I know I used to, at one point, I was like, I'm just going to run. And so I just ran. I trained for a marathon, ran the marathon. Like, I was like, I'm just going to run.
You did.
And I didn't realize at the time that I was distracting myself from grief and fear and anxiety.
Instead of
And-
feeling it.
Yeah, instead of feeling it, I was like, I'm just going to run, but it was healthy, you know?
That's like you run the marathon, but you don't wash your laundry.
Yeah, exactly. Charles is here and says that lately it's been petting the cat to bring peace. Yahara says, I do art, like abstract art, and go outside and just relax, even walk. Helps me with the physical pain, listening to the rain, thunder, and deep lavender baths. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, is what Kelly said. So that's something that I kind of wanted to bring. So, I asked, like, how do you bring peace to your body? No one mentioned touch. No one mentioned anything that actually had to do with the body.
I used to take hot
I'm so
baths.
sorry.
That's okay.
But unfortunately, I live in an apartment now. So it kind
Ah,
of ruined that.
yeah.
I always found that to be very relaxing. You know, 'cause it
Activity.
soothes everything.
Yeah.
So what would you
It's-
say about that?
Well-
Since you said we didn't mention anything.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because we all kind of went to the mind. Meditation, Alan mentioned music, but not dancing. Right? Cuddle the kids. Yeah. So it's like that, so the body can get peace through touch, through movement, through stretching, through walking.
Mention the.
How
Through
about
Tai
a
Chi.
delicious meal?
Yes, nourishment. Yeah, feeding the body something. Say I drink chamomile tea, right? Chamomile tea, lavender tea, an herbal tea can actually bring peace to my body. The ritual of that. Maybe making a phone call, or connecting with a friend, right? So these are like these are really physical things to bring our body peace, right? And our bodies. Like I got, heard a lot of people here on the online saying the rain, the water, the bath, sometimes going for a swim, sitting by a lake, watching a river go by, doing pottery, drawing, coloring, just doodling, just getting the mind so that it's not distracted necessarily, but it actually is distracted by emptiness and not other information coming in.
Good point.
Yeah.
What I find, and this is rare, I started writing spontaneous poetry, prose poetry, just reflecting the situation I'm in then and there. I don't do it very often, but I enjoy it. It feels good. It just, maybe I should make a habit of trying every day at one point, just. Yeah, and I can do it spontaneously. I never knew I had that ability, so.
I'm so glad you mentioned that and that you're doing that. To allow ourselves spontaneous acts of joy, spontaneous acts of creation, spontaneous acts of peace. It helps us just feel better, right? It helps us to feel more whole in our unit, in our human,
Now that you mentioned that, I forgot to mention, I also journal. I find that very helpful. Because anything that gets it out of here,
Yeah, the
I
brain
think
dump.
is good.
Yeah, doing a good old brain dump and just writing, just
Or your
free
diary,
writing.
Summary.
Yeah,
Of your day.
Or anything,
can, well,
really, your thoughts,
it
your day.
can. So, and I say it can because from my own experience and from studies that I've looked at, when we are journaling, if I am writing about everything that happened in that day, and what if that day just a bunch of stuff happened and I'm like, the clouds were out. This person looked at me funny. It was such a bad day. My foot hurts. Nothing went right. Blah, 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 blah. Right. So that's my perspective. I'm not saying those things didn't happen. Right. But what that's doing is it's not healing anything. Right.
Positive.
Well, it could be positive or it could be, I experienced a lot of rejection. I felt pain today. I was in suffering. And I'm also really happy that I haven't left my side, that I got myself home safely, you know, so to ruminate in something that was uncomfortable or painful can keep it in the body longer than it needs to. Like we can heal it and move it through. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because writing can be super helpful and healing, and it can also keep us in a loop of pain. It depends on what we're writing
Well,
about.
when I journal, I usually journal like my thoughts about things, and not so much on like particular negative events. Because you're right, you can ruminate about that.
Yeah,
But I find it helpful.
Lisa's on here. Yes, we can. Right? I know.
I journal also almost every day now.
Oh.
Sometimes it's helpful to go back a little bit and see where I was then compared to where I am now. And sometimes I'll see, well, I've progressed, I've improved.
Yeah.
That's really real down to earth, practical, realistic.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. So for people that journal, and like if you ever go back and you read and you're like, wow, I was doing really well and I was a hot mess and that was a really good day and that was a really bad day. And what, you know, like I went through a lot for those 6 months. And then to journal about that. Wow, I didn't realize how strong I was for that 6 months a year ago.
Or what you thought at the time too. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's interesting to go back and see how I thought about things at this particular point in my life.
Exactly. Kelly says journaling, what a great idea. I mean, yeah, it's like we can journal, draw, doodle. Like even if you journal and then say you journal and you say, you know, oh, today I did this and this is my experience and yada, yada, yada. And then you doodle a picture, right? You add a little stick figure or you draw a picture of the flower that you passed or of the sunset that you saw and you colored in, right? So now you're adding more creative expression to your journal, and it helps to just add more joy and clearing in the body. And when we can experience joy, we're experiencing peace at the same time. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, peace can bring you joy, right?
Totally. Yeah. So we've got a few like body things that we can do to bring peace, you know. Exercise. Yeah.
I really slacked off on that and I need to get back. You know, low key, just whatever I can do, given my.
Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything, any movement, really.
Well,
You know.
the more the merrier.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
And
you can do too
touch.
much. You know.
Well,
You know.
yeah, I guess you can.
Well, and I do want to bring touch into the equation because human touch is very important in our life. You know, there are humans on this earth plane right now who haven't been touched in years. Years and years and years. I'm talking like not like beyond a handshake. I'm talking like straight up holding hands, being looked at in the eyes, being held, having someone just rub the shoulders, just be like, hey, you know, like I'm your friend. I love you. You're carrying some stress.
Nothing like a good hug.
Nothing's like a good hug. So, you know, touch is a huge important factor in peace in the body because to get a hug and to give a hug, first of all, it takes consent. So it takes this open heart to say, I'm vulnerable and I'm willing to receive and I'm willing to give at the same time. And then to be in just a human loving embrace for a couple of breaths. It releases oxytocin in the body and it creates a sense of peace and well-being in our bodies, big time.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I've had a satisfying hug, satisfying mutual hug. I don't remember the last time. And that means a lot.
Sure it does.
Yeah. I think that we forget as humans that we're made to hug.
Maybe we should all hug.
We
That
can.
would
We
be
can do
good
that.
exercise.
We can do that. Kelly mentions me too. Glad I'm here now. Just reminds me of what I want to put my energy into, body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, because we're all 3 parts. So yeah, before we go, we'll all hug. We get if
Yeah,
if
kinda like
everybody,
the-
with consent, right? Like
Kind of
that's
like
the
the
thing. consent.
communion thing you do after church where everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everybody
And I
shakes.
don't shake hands. I won't shake hands. It's just I don't like to do that. I went to a grand opening of a friend's wellness business yesterday, and I met a lot of new people, and they're like, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to shake a hand. I'll hug you, and they're like, some people were like, yes, and others were like, I mean, okay, and others I've had go, nope, and I'm like, that's cool. Like we don't have to touch to introduce ourselves. We don't
Maybe
have
not a
to.
hug?
Mhm.
Oh.
But that's okay,
That's
you know.
weird.
Well,
Some
it's
people
not.
are comfortable with hugging.
Yeah, because it's a very vulnerable experience to hug. It really is, and there are people that reject love,
I got you.
and that's just where they are in their journey.
Mhm.
So, no judgment on that. That's where they are. It's not where I am. I'm grateful for that. Okay, so we've got some good some body things, and so we've kind of talked about some of the mind, what can bring our mind some peace, right? Meditation was mentioned, listening to music. That's a really good way to still the mind and to
Or
just
stimulate
bring-
the mind and body. And spirit.
I'm sorry, what was
Yeah.
that last word you said?
still
Oh.
No, we've done
Oh.
before that.
listening to music.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously depending on the type of music, but like if I'm looking for peace, I might listen to like some ambient music and not like hardcore heavy metal. For me
Depends on your
personally.
mood, really, doesn't it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just me. So what are a couple other mental things or things that we can do to bring peace to our mind? Because our mind will go into like loops and thoughts and like goes like all over the place. You ever talk to yourself out
Yeah.
loud?
Yeah.
I talk to my cat.
Yeah. I bet that brings you peace.
Yeah, and she talks back.
Of course. Yeah.
Except she sounds more like.
Yeah. Lisa says meditation on good things, love and happiness and joy. Yeah, meditation. So a focus, right?
I've tried, I don't seem to be able to do it, meditation, it just escapes me, I don't know.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Lisa mentioned meditating on specific topics. So oftentimes meditation in some traditions is taught as mindlessness, no thoughts in. Don't let any thoughts in. If a thought comes in, let it go. No, don't think about anything. And yeah, that's one method. And for some of us, our brains are wired like fiber optics. So we're getting thoughts all the time. So to have someone tell someone like that, just don't have any thoughts, you might practice your whole life and still not have no thoughts. But what we can do is create a pointed focus. So if I have a point of focus of one thing and one thing only, like when we began, I had the bowl and I was just focusing on the breath, right? Breathing in peace, out joy, in peace, out joy. You probably couldn't think about much else during that time, right? Like nobody was like, I mean, you may have had a couple thoughts come in and out, but for the most part, it was peace in, joy out, breathe in, breathe out, like that. So that was the point of focus. So if we have a point of focus of, say, on love, well, what if you've never experienced love before and every time you've been in a relationship, you had your heart broken? Well, you have a heart. You have a physical beating heart so that we can focus the mind on just the beating of the heart, right? Or how much love we have in here. I just have so much love. I don't care if no one's giving it back to me or not, but wow, I have so much love. Or what if you see everything as love? Or if you focus on peace and just focus on the word peace, right? Hang on one sec, because I want to share.
Sure, take it down.
And Lisa says, in peace of mind, I feel that peace today that I haven't been in a while. Oh, cool. And Yahara says, no isolation, being with people you love and can help you with community as well. Can help you and communicate as well. Yes, for sure. And what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, just in comment to what Alan was saying, I had a difficulty a long time ago. I'm much better at it now. And I would have like arguments in my head with people, not actual other
Mhm.
voices. And I had trouble distracting myself. So I had two different therapists. One taught me about the breathing, where you just, all you do is it's kind of like you just take your focus to something simple, whether it be an idea. And if you just focus on your breathing in and out, the other thing is you can just like, if you're doing something, just start focusing on things around you. Like I used to drive in my car, and this is what my therapist kind of told me. She's like, as you're driving down the road, just notice everything, but don't notice it for long. Like you're driving by, say, notice that's a green tree, that's a white picket fence, and the fact that you're noticing those details changes your focus from the chaos in your head.
Yeah.
So that's how it helped me. I don't know if that helps you or not, Ellen.
Yeah, I think getting a point of focus. So like, what if we focused on, okay, you want to try something?
Sure.
Okay, let's play with this. So tell me what y'all think. Okay, so just take a big breath in and just let it go. And just soften your gaze or find one point of focus with your eyeballs and don't look at anything else. Maybe your eyes are closed, maybe you're finding a spot on the floor or a spot on the wall, and just keep your eye gaze wherever that is. And just draw attention to the tip of your nose. Feel the tip of your nose, the way maybe the tip of your nose can feel the way the inhale of the air moves past it. Maybe you can feel the exhale of your breath. You just keep focusing on the tip of your nose and the way the breath flows in and out of your nose, drawing more awareness to the temperature of the tip of your nose. If it's warm, if it's cold, if you can feel moisture in your nostrils, or if it feels dry as you breathe in and you breathe out. Maybe you can feel or sense the size of your nose protruding from your face. Maybe you can feel the width of it next to your cheeks as you breathe in and you breathe out. Take another big breath in and just let it go. And coming back to this moment, come back to the body. You can open your eyes. So, was anyone thinking about anything else at all? Hey, Alan,
What?
were you thinking about anything else other than your nose?
Yes,
You were?
but I was focused on my nose.
Yeah.
I mean, sensing the breathing, feeling the breathing. I did focus on that.
So we can always pick apart. We can pick our hands. We can literally stare and focus on our hands. And
Yeah, I
just,
was staring at the thing across the street. I don't know what it is on that building.
yeah,
It's
like-
a focal point.
yeah, we can do that with a flower, a tree, our hands, our feet. We can do it on our reflection in a mirror, right? But having a point of focus, that can help the mind become more peaceful. So, last but not least, we've got the spirit. Do-do-do-do.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What?
Nothing.
I'm goofing off.
I've done a little research in that, and that's really, I don't know if you've looked into that, but that's like a longitude sound. And it's amazing what that sound can do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it resonates.
It's healing.
Exactly, the resonance of that sound.
Yeah. So glad you mentioned that. So what are some ways that you can give your spirit peace? So you say the bowl.
Well, a bowl that has that sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. not a bowl of Cheerios. Although that could, but not the same.
I think exercise would help.
Exercise to help your spirit.
Regular.
Right.
Every day.
Yeah, movement. What else? What brings your spirit peace?
You know, for me, sometimes resolving, we tend to have this internal conflict in ourselves of what we think of ourselves, what is real, and what other people think of us. And kind of being self-aware and about self-evaluation, when it's helpful,
Yeah,
I think is important,
yeah,
at least for me.
yeah. Being reflective,
Exactly,
yeah.
that's it, yeah.
Being reflective without judgment.
Yeah.
Forgiveness.
And trying to see
Forgiving.
things how they really are.
Yeah.
too.
I think forgiveness is a really big key to peace in the spirit, right? If I can forgive myself for the shit that I've done in my life and the shit that I didn't do, the shit I should have done that I just didn't do.
Yeah, those
Right?
mistakes you made, but you can't do anything about them.
Yeah. To just let myself off the hook. Like recognize that I'm a human and I did some stupid shit. I still do stupid shit because I'm a human. I'm okay with that. But to allow forgiveness to be a part of who I am, then when I can forgive me, then I'm going to forgive someone else, right? So then if I can forgive someone else for however they fuck up, then their spirit is going to feel better around my spirit, right?
Amen, sister.
Right?
Yeah, I think not judging, accepting people where they happen to be is
Yeah.
a very important part of recovery. I think
Yeah.
it's the most important part.
Yes, because everyone is in their place where they are supposed to be in this now moment, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, no one is in the wrong. No one is where they're not supposed to be. Everyone is living out their purpose in some way, shape, or form right in this now, whether we can see it or not. That just is. So to be in a state, a mental and heart state of acceptance, literally the spirit's like, yeah, I'm so peaceful and I'm so happy that you are being with me right now. Right?
I always thought acceptance is such a better word than tolerance.
I
We've
agree.
gotten to this way in our society where we say tolerate this and tolerate that, and to me, that's not the same thing as acceptance.
No, it really isn't. It's not. That's why
putting up with it.
yeah, that's why tolerate and accept they're spelled differently.
Yeah,
They don't mean the same.
They don't mean
They're
the same.
different words for
Yes.
a reason.
Yes.
Some other ways to bring the spirit peace. Connect with nature. Just to go outside. Feel the sun on your skin. Feel the wind on your skin. Feel the air. Listen to the birds.
Now, I do that almost every afternoon. I'll go out in front of the house and the sun is beginning to set. I'll maybe be out there an hour, but I feel it glowing into me, and I know it's beneficial. So that's helpful.
Yeah. Sunsets are amazing. Sunrises, the sun in general. Like the trees, the way they change all the time.
All the colors.
Gosh.
He has a nice view from his house too.
Yeah. And like just that to be with nature, I think reminds us that nature, no matter how chaotic it may seem, because it's always changing, is still by nature peaceful. The trees aren't fighting each other, saying, look at me, my colors are brighter than yours, haha. And the flowers aren't beating up other flowers, telling them that they're not pretty enough or that they don't smell like they should. Like everything lives in harmony in nature. And I feel that when we can get out into it, remember that, even if it's in our mind's eye. So say someone is incarcerated and they don't have access to outside, we have our imagination. So like we can go there in our mind. That's why it's body, mind, spirit, right? It's all connected. So if I can choose in my mind to take my body outside, my spirit is going to feel better. And then my body's going to feel better because I just changed my nervous system and my hormone system. And all my cortisol just lessened. My blood pressure just steadied out. Now I can think clear. Look at that. So it's a cycle of health. I want to share what the online homies are saying. Kelly says, I've been changing a lot for the better. I want to live and being my true self after recovering from addiction and trauma. Everything has changed. I'm more peaceful and I live the way I want. Yes. That's the thing about change, right? It's like I can feel peace, and then it's like looking at all the chaos around me of everything that I was living in, just like get more chaotic. And I'm like, wow, that's nuts. Anyway, and Kelly says that my spirit is at peace right now. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And Lisa says, and in this moment, listen to the birds sing, hear the wind blowing, listen to the water by nature. And if it's storming, listen to the thunder, look to the lightning when the trees are changing colors and the beauty of the change of the season. Yes, and change is good. And here's the thing about the spirit to be in peace. Also, and this one's kind of a doozy. This one's not necessarily the easiest. We kind of started off with it, and then I'm going to go back to it like it's easy. It's being in stillness. And being in stillness means that I can still be in stillness in a room where there's like 50 kids running around, banging pots and pans, people yelling over there, knocking on the door,
Yeah, 'cause
phone is
stillness
ringing.
is in here.
Exactly. So that is like the spiritual aspect of stillness. And then my mind can be focused on one thing. Maybe it's the music of the sounds of chaos around me. Or maybe I don't even hear all of the sounds of chaos and I only hear the sound of my breath. You know, when we first started and I was playing the bowl, there were so many other sounds going on. There were people talking, doors opening, people talking, phones ringing. Like there were so many things going on.
But the resonance of that
Right.
cleared everything out.
Exactly. And you were focusing on this. Someone could walk in and maybe not have heard this because they were listening to something else. So it's choosing what we listen to, right? Do I listen to the chatter mind or do I listen to the focused mind? Do I listen to the heart that's afraid of loving or do I listen to the heart that is love? Do I listen to the body that craves movement and touch or do I listen to the body that recoils because it's been abused? What am I going to choose to listen to, right? And that's where we get to be these humans of free will. It's a magic trick, I think, that we can be, that we can be humans as a body and as a mind and as a spirit. Perfect time. You want to hang out? I'm getting ready to do this. And then I'll be closing up. So you can just sit back, relax, and tune in to the sound. You can just tune in. Well, before, yeah, thanks. Yeah, you can just be in a moment of receiving. Just a moment or two to just be here now. So take a breath in and just let it go. The invitation is to focus on something that brings you peace. Maybe it's the fact that you have a body. Maybe it's the fact that you can think. Maybe what brings you peace is your breath in this now moment, or the sound of this bowl. Take another big breath in and just let it go.
Now, if you had one of those on a humongous scale, it would be astounding.
I know. I would like to get
Oh,
some.
like a cauldron size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
Bad
have
size.
they have many different sizes and I want like a set of crystal ones. It's just, it hasn't been in my budget yet.
How
If
do you-
anyone
how
would
do
like
you-
to donate to janetheguide.com, I can get more bowls.
How does the crystal one work? Do you plant?
You can, yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, they have beautiful sets of them that one day I'll have and I can share them. And until then, I get to bring that little in. So maybe we can just spend the day however we want and just be in peace however that looks in the body, the mind, and the spirit, and then just share that out in the world. Just be peace wherever we go. Cultivate it more in our bodies and our minds and our spirits and just share it. What a gift that is, right? What a gift. Thanks for being
Thank
here,
you.
y'all.
Thank you.
I
Especially
appreciate
the bowl.
Did
Yeah.
anybody want a hug?
We can
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
we did. Yeah, we missed the whole.
Thank you all for being here online. I appreciate your all's input so much. Tune in next week. And if you all want, on Thursdays, telling y'all this too, on Thursdays, well, thanks, Kelly, for that reflection. On Thursdays, if you tune in to Expansions, it's the spiritual dimension of wellness that I share. So it's pre-recorded, but you can also leave comments because I go back and I read them. But it's it's a shorty. So check it out. I would love it. So thanks. I'll see y'all next week. Okay. Let me hit the button.
Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all. Thank you, Lisa.